What's going on, guys? Welcome to your 28th Java tutorial. Again with me, Travis, and my bringback. What we're going to learn about in today's tutorial is the keyword called this. Let's just jump right into it. For this tutorial, we're going to need two classes. One that the compiler looks for that has our main method, and also another class I called Travis. You can call it whatever you want, literally, if you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to our starting point class, and we're just going to create a new Travis object. This should be pretty familiar by now. We're going to call this T, and we're going to say new Travis, and we're going to pass in a number like 24 for my age, something like that. We're getting an error right now because, again, we need a constructor that takes an integer as a parameter. So we're going to jump over to our Travis class, create that real quickly. We're first going to just hit Control Space, hit Enter, and there is our default constructor. Pretty simple, right? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create an int variable called age. Nothing new here again. And there we go. Now we have access to that 24 from our previous class, which we relabeled age. So again, age is equal to 24. You can keep that in mind. Now what we're going to do within our Travis class, we're going to set up a variable called int age. Not set it equal to anything. And now we're like, okay, we have two ages. We have this age, and we also have this age right here that we're getting passed in. So for example, if we want to set up this age right here to be equal to whatever our constructor passed in for us, what we're going to do is we're going to say this.age is equal to age. Now that might seem kind of confusing, but all it's doing is it's referring to this, the age of our class. As you can see here, they're both kind of blue. And then this age is not blue, so therefore it's this one that's getting passed in. So there's our first little doodad of this tutorial for this tutorial. And basically all we're saying is we said, we spent so much time with this Travis class. We were setting up everything. Yeah, we might need some external resources like from our constructor or other parameters, some other information that we get passed in. But we've spent so much time creating this Travis class. Anytime we use or we want to refer to our variables that we established for our Travis class, we just are going to say this age equal to that. Obviously, we could just create this int to be a, and then we could just say a is equal to age as well. Pretty much the same thing, but sometimes you get confused. So we want our variables to be consistent, and also the same. We could have our variable that gets passed in label as a, and then we could also just delete this as well. But again, if you have a constructor or something that has a ton of parameters like a, b, c, and d, and you're like, okay, I forgot what those were supposed to be, and then you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna label them what I think they are: age, height, weight, whatever else you want to have. And then we can set up also our variables for our class, and we can just refer to those same names, and we can just say this age or this height, this weight, and those will refer to our class variables, and we're going to set them equal to be whatever our local variables are or whatever is being passed in from our constructor. So that's all fine and dandy, right? But there's another way we can use the this keyword. There's a few other ways, but we're just going to talk about one other way. And what we're going to do is we're going to say this, and we're just going to say age, and we're also going to give it a string, so like Travis. Now when we use this with parentheses, basically what it's doing is it's calling the constructor of this class, again the Travis class, and it's giving it these parameters. So now what we need to do is we need to create another constructor, so I'm just going to hit Control Space, bam, and we're going to also say int age and string name, and there we go. So again, what's happening is our starting point is creating a new Travis object, passing in the number 24. So it's going to look for a constructor that has just one parameter with an int value, and so obviously it's going to call this parameter, or I'm sorry, this constructor, and then the only thing that this constructor is going to do is it's going to create or call a new constructor here that takes two parameters. So it's going to look for this age and this name, and then all we're going to do is just the system.out.print, and we're just going to say name plus quotation space plus age, and there we go. So those are kind of the variables that we can do. Also, I mean, we could just say, just for the other version of this, we're going to say this age is equal to age that's being passed in again here, which we, it's basically being forwarded from this one to being passed in here to being passed in here, and that's where we're going to set up our this variable again up here, and then we can also just say age or this dot age. So hopefully that makes some sense, guys. That's pretty much it for this tutorial, and there we go. We have Travis in 24. Hopefully that made some sense. Hopefully you guys, when you see the this, you won't get as confused. There's a few other ways that we can use the this. We'll get into that when we actually start developing a game or something along those lines, but I wanted you to be kind of familiar with what it does. So thanks again for watching, guys. Have a good Thanksgiving, I should say, here in the United States, and I'll catch you later. Have a good one.